videos of your home life, you have music in the background of the Bible, like an audio book. And obviously in the Bible it talks about one man and his greatness. Do you refer to yourself as that man or use that as a guideline?
I don't know what particular YouTube clip you're talking about. And I have to also say that there's probably material that you're able to reference and I'm not. I'm traveling every weekend and I'm really working towards seeing this thing realized. And a lot of people don't realize this, but the truth is, your September doesn't start in September. You know, the champion is not the champion because he decides on that particular day when the cameras are there and the lights are there and the audience is there to try to do the things that we expect for a champion to do then. The champion becomes the champion because they have been doing those things ever since they decided to be the champion. Ever since they decided to aim for that target, that desired end result. So what I'm doing now is not looking at the clips that were taken last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. What I'm doing now is focusing on this moment and trying to make the best champion-like decision I can make with respect to my food, where I allow my thoughts to go, where I allow my body, myself to go, while I am working in an effort to get to seeing my desired end result, see my dream realized. So it's not what you do later, it's what you're doing now. You know, it's not the future, it's what you do in the present that you're using to create the future. Does that make any sense?
Okay. When you're like 12 weeks out from your prep, does your training system change every single training day? Or do you go into it prepared already, or do you kind of just go into training and just do whatever you feel?
12 weeks out?
Yeah.
12 weeks out.
Or just while generally dieting, does your training change? Or do you kind of just go into every session knowing what you're going to do?
I think sometimes you have an idea of some things that you'd like to do, but I think you constantly have to reassess and adjust and adapt accordingly. 12 weeks out is a very, very big chunk of time. And in truth, there are things that you may not be able to foresee will happen in your life between now and 6 weeks from now. So when you start thinking about 12 weeks from now, there's a lot that can happen. I can work with the desired expectation to get to the gym every day at 6 o'clock, but darn it, on my way to leave the house today, the sewer line septic system overflowed in the new home that I bought. Or a pipe can burst, and it requires my immediate attention. I can be rigid and aim not to bend, but I would do that at the peril of actually seeing a lot more damage that would, otherwise, wouldn't have to occur. So, what I'm trying to say is that one of the things that Oscar used to say when I used to work with him was that everything is not etched in stone. Your training shouldn't be etched in stone. You're going to have to borrow some words from Bruce Lee and be water, my friend. Yeah, you're going to need to be able to bend a little bit.
Hey, Kai. Question I've got is, in your opinion, do you think the best bodybuilders that have existed, ones that have won the most competitions, have been most consistent, are the bodybuilders that obviously they want to win the title, they want to be Mr. Olympia or be the best, but that's not the only thing. Bodybuilding has to be a part of their life. It has to be a fabric, it has to get therapy, it has to be something that's a little bit more than just purely winning. That title isn't enough, because I can't imagine champions, after they retire, like Sean Ray here and that, just stopping training or cutting it right back. It must be something they'll always continuously do until they can't lift the weight anymore.
I do think that there has to be an emotional and psychological profile that more than likely a lot of us are able to identify with in one way or another. There have to be colors I do believe that we have to share in common. And I think that's definitely what makes a difference between the person that is able to do one show or 2 shows, or a person and distinguishing themselves differently from the person that can actively go and make this a life choice and make a living from doing this. Yeah, there has to be there has to be a larger investment emotionally, I think. Yeah, than just that. Because a lot of people look at it and say, hey, you want a lot of money. There's a lot of money to be made in bodybuilding. You can be really rich. Not really. You know, if you want to be financially successful, there's a whole lot of other pursuits that you know, be better off considering, you know, than to think about getting on a bodybuilding stage. So that tells me that the person that makes the commitment to want to earn their living doing it this way, there's got to be another payoff. And usually there is, and it has to be, you know.
Hi Kai, I've just got a question in regards to how you deal with jet lag when traveling all around the world. Different athletes have different types of approaches. Do you have anything specific that you follow, or does it depend on which country you land in or what part of the continent you are and such?
Brother, I'm working to put that together as we speak. I am really dealing with that. And here's something to be, you know, you might find very interesting. A lot of times we see a show and we think, man, you know, this guy or that guy could have been. But the truth is, Mr. Olympia, there's a lot of mandates on Mr. Olympia's time and his appearance schedule. And in truth, to be Mr. Olympia, I now understand that there's a lot of expectation on you, a lot of traveling, you know. So if you're a person that, you know, is working to win the show, but, you know, doesn't really like to do a whole lot of traveling, you know, you may need to really think long and hard about what it is you're aspiring to